Hello everybody, my name is Miss Bryant and I'm here helping you guys learn how to do a rotation. A rotation is a type of transformation. Okay, so I have a few examples that I'm going to work out with you guys to help you guys to learn, if not remember, how to do a rotation. We will be performing rotation on normal graph paper as well as isometric paper. So let's get started. All right, so here we have an example of rotating a figure on regular graph paper, right? So we have a triangle ABC, and we have a point here, and our direction is given to us here. We are to rotate triangle ABC clockwise, 90 degrees, using point P as my center, all right? With rotations, you need a point of rotation and you need to know the direction you're going. So those are the two most important things you need to know. What point you're rotating about and what direction am I going? Now, real quick, I will review something that I'm pretty sure we all remember, but it wouldn't hurt to review. So we're going to review this is clockwise and this is counterclockwise. And I know with rotations sometimes this can get confused with students, but I wanted to make sure that we remembered. Okay, so if you have tracing paper or patty paper, or sometimes you can just use a sheet of regular notebook paper if you can see through it. This is what you can use to rotate a shape about a point. Okay, so using my handy dandy tracing paper, patty paper, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to put it over my shape and I'm going to draw my figure on the tracing paper. I'm going to try to do it light, but not so light where I can't see anything. All right, so I know I'm going 90 degrees clockwise about point P. So here's what I do to make sure that I rotate 90 degrees. Here's my point P right here. What I do sometimes is I draw a vertical line in a right angle box, especially for 90 degrees, because a square has 4 angles, they're all 90 degrees. So this helped me to see that while I'm rotating this paper around, whether or not I've actually gone 90 degrees. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pencil on point P, and I'm going to move my paper clockwise until this forms a 90-degree angle in another direction. Okay, I'm going clockwise, so I'm going this way. So that's how I'm going to shift my paper. So pencil on point P, I'm going to start rotating my paper until that angle that I made is an actual 90-degree angle. And as you can see, it's not 90 degrees yet. Not yet, not yet. Now it is. So now it's 90 degrees. So this tells me or shows me where my new shape is going to be. That was C, that was A, and that was B. It's also important that you label your points. I forgot to do that. Don't make my mistakes. Don't make my mistakes. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the paper up just enough so I can make my marks to where my new points are. I'm going to move my paper. This was A prime, C prime, B prime. So there's my rotation of my original figure, triangle ABC. Now I have triangle ABC prime. It's a 90-degree rotation of it, going clockwise. So that's how you would do a rotation when they give you a point that's outside of the shape. Now we're going to do a rotation where they give you a point that is on the shape. Okay. So here, I'll use a different color just in case it overlaps my first question. So here I have 90 degrees counterclockwise. So I'm going this way. And I'm using point A as my point of rotation or my center of rotation. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the first one. I'm going to trace my shape. I'm going to label it this time. Okay, and since A is my point of rotation, I'm going to draw a straight line going from it and draw my right angle box to help me to make sure that I rotate 90 degrees. Now I'm going clockwise. I'm sorry, I'm going counterclockwise. I don't know why it took me that long to remember. I must have forgot. So since I'm going counterclockwise, I'm going to go backwards instead of forwards. So putting my pencil on A, I'm going to rotate this paper until that's a 90-degree angle again. And so far, that little line is not 90 degrees yet. So I'm going. So now I have it at 90 degrees. So I'm going to make my marks. So that's C prime, that was B prime, and since A and A prime share the same point, you would still label it A prime as well. All right. So now I've rotated my shape 90 degrees counterclockwise, about point A. So that's how you do a rotation on normal graph paper, remembering where your clockwise and your counterclockwise is, and how to do it when the point is on the figure or off the figure. Now I'm going to show you how to do it on isometric paper. With isometric paper, as you can see, it's made up of triangles. These triangles are equilateral triangles where all the angles and sides are the same. And if that's the case, then that means every angle is 60 degrees. So on isometric paper, you wouldn't necessarily be doing a lot of 90-degree rotations. You'll more likely use isometric paper when you're doing rotations in increments of 60. All right, so we're going to look at our first example. Here we have parallelogram. That's what it looks like, ABCD. And we're going to rotate it around point O, going 60 degrees clockwise. So again, following my clock, that's clockwise. Going the opposite direction, that's counterclockwise. It doesn't hurt to have these friendly little reminders. Sometimes it helps more than we really think. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to get my tracing paper. I'm going to trace my figure up there. A, B, C, and D. Now, I'm going to rotate about this point 60 degrees. So what I would do is I still use the same strategy I used with the other ones with drawing a line, except for this time I draw an angle notation, angle marking. Since I'm rotating around point O, I can see one of my triangles here. This angle is 60 degrees, so I make a little simple little angle marking. Might even color it in to indicate that this is that's 60 degrees. So when I rotate that around, that's going to help me to identify my 60-degree rotation. Excuse me. So I'm going to go clockwise, which means I'm going to go in this direction. So I'm going to move my paper in this direction. So with my pencil on my O, I'm going to rotate my paper until I rotate it a total of 60 degrees. All right, so my angle marking that I colored in right here has filled up the next 60-degree angle. Here is my shape where it should be. And so I'm just going to lift it up so I can make my marks. A prime, B prime, D prime, C prime. So here I rotated this figure, parallelogram ABCD, around point O and created parallelogram ABCD prime. And for our last example, I have this triangle that I'm going to rotate 180 degrees counterclockwise, and I'm going to use point B. I'm going to get me another sheet of tracing paper. You can reuse the tracing paper. You just have to make sure you erase slightly. It's just for this video. I might just get a clean sheet. That'll work out just fine with us. Clean sheet never hurt anybody. All right. So I'm going to trace my triangle onto my paper. All right, I'm going 180 degrees. Something to remember there. Counterclockwise. So instead of going in this direction, I'm going to go this way. And I'm using point B. So like I've done before, I'm going to color in my angle of 60 degrees. And I'm going to move 3 times, 3 sets of 60 degrees, because 60 times 3 gives me my 180. So my point around on B, I'm going to move this 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to mark my points. That's A prime, that's C prime. And like we did on the regular graph paper, we rotate around B. So B prime and B will share the same spot. And there I have rotated triangle ABC 100 degrees counterclockwise around point B to create my new triangle, which is triangle ABC prime. Okay, I really hope that this video helped you guys in learning or remembering how to rotate figures on graph paper and isometric paper. If you have any further questions, you can hit me up in the comments, or you can contact your math teacher and hopefully they will be able to help you. I really hope this helped, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.